What's going on, guys? My name is Sakha, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about my process in how I create my goals, how I visualize my goals, and how I manifest my goals. And I'm actually going to break this video down into a couple of separate videos. And the reason being is because the first part of creating your goals is so important, and I honestly have a lot to talk about it. And so a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Sakha. I was born and raised in San Diego, but I moved out here to Las Vegas, and I was going to school for a very long time, always working multiple jobs, always obsessed and literally obsessed with success and self-development, and I have just become obsessed with just how people become successful, what separates people from the people that just accomplish every single one of their goals, and the people that just make excuses and they don't, see the goals that they've created for themselves. Or in a lot of cases, which we'll go into a little bit later, is some people don't even create their goals, and that's a problem in itself. And so I'm very passionate about this subject. I have been able to create and manifest, a handful of goals that I've written down. I've written down my goals, since like 2014, and I've done it every year since then. And it's been a slow process, but just the act of creating these goals and then seeing them manifest have been such a beautiful experience, such a fulfilling and a rewarding experience for me. And I'm so passionate about it and wanting to help other people do the same. Right? So I'm going to ask you guys a question, and this is a question that all of us must ask ourselves. And it's, in my opinion, it's the 4 most important words that you will ever put in a sentence with a question mark at the very end of it, and ask yourself. And those 4 words are, what do you want? Okay? Not that many people know what they want. And if you're ever feeling frustrated and you're ever feeling like you're not where you need to be, it's because you haven't addressed that question of what do you want? And this literally can go in so many different directions, but you have to get clear on what it is you want. Like, you guys seen like The Notebook, where it's like, what do you want?
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
It's just like that. You've got to get clear. You can't hop in a car and say, I'm going to drive to Canada, and not have a roadmap. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take a lot longer of a time trying to get to Canada without a roadmap, and you're just going to be, going in these circles of not feeling fulfilled and not feeling closer to your goal that you were never clear about in the first place. And so, what do you want? Get clear on it. Get crystal clear on what it is that you want in all areas of your life. What do you want physically? What do you want your body to look like? How do you want to feel every day that you wake up? What do you want do you want to own a business someday? What do you want to learn to play an instrument? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to go hiking at the most beautiful destinations? Do you want to have coffee in Italy? Do you want to go swimming, parasailing in Thailand, right? Like, what do you want? Have you gotten crystal clear on what that is? Because most people haven't. And most people are, afraid to write their goals down because they're afraid, there's this fear that they might not accomplish it. And I think that's, stupid. I think it's stupid. Like, just write it down and get clear on it. You see, when we were kids, we weren't afraid to talk about what we wanted. We weren't afraid to, when we saw that Lamborghini driving by, we're like, that's my car. That's going to be my car. See that house? That's going to be my house. And when we were kids, we dreamed so big and we thought so big. And then when adulthood came, we started shrinking our goals because we thought they were unattainable, or we realized that life is pretty freaking hard and that I actually have to work if I want to create these things. They don't just happen. And that's why I'm going to create another video on the whole manifesting and visualizing aspect of it. But that's why I'm pounding the creating a goal aspect right now, because most people aren't clear on what they want. And I will tell you that even I'm a victim of that. I write down my goals every single year, and I I have to rewrite them because I have to continue to sharpen my focus and get clear and be self-aware and have that, clarity myself to figure out what I really want. And it's going to change. Things are always going to update and change. And so you have to constantly be asking yourself, what do I want? And I would tell you that I'm even in the process of this right now, as far as, getting the numbers down, the numbers of what is my number that I need by when to be able to achieve these goals that I have for myself. I have so many goals in real estate, so many goals in, taking care of 100% care of my family, goals of traveling the world, goals of what of a family, goals of all these different things. And you got to get clear on what you want. And so in all areas of your life, how much do you want in your bank account? How many houses do you want to own? Do you want a business? What kind of business do you want, right? What does that look like? In clarity, in being specific, what do you want? Back to the health and fitness, what does your body look like, right? What are your energy levels, right? What do you want this one's important because I did it and it worked, is what do you want in your spouse? What is your ideal significant other? What are their characteristics, right? From physical to, how they are as a person, from their personality, from their goals and their ambition. Do they have straight white teeth? Are they slim thick, right? Do they have a six pack? And they, are they, who are they? And if you're not clear about who you want your significant other to be, then how are you going to know when you come across them? And the best way to manifest them and to attract them is to get crystal clear on all of their characteristics, so that way whenever you're reviewing them, you're reviewing your what you wanted in your ideal partner, and then you look at the partner that you've been with, or maybe when you dig that sheet up later and you look at it, you're like, oh my goodness, this is my dream girl, or this is my dream guy. Wow, I wrote it down and here they are. You know what I'm saying? I think the four most important words that you will ever ask yourself are, what do you want? What do I want? And revisit that all the time. Okay, so my best advice in accomplishing this, of what do you want, is to rip out a piece of paper just like this and just go ham. Just try to create a list of 100 things that you want. And it's a challenge, believe it or not. It's a challenge to write 100 things that you want. It can be things from lifestyle, from travel destinations, from money in your bank, to how many kids you want, to do you lead an organization? Are you a public speaker? Are you a comedian? Are you gonna create this bucket list of maybe you want to sing in front of an audience someday. Maybe you want to create a rap song, right? And bump it in the club. And while you're, maybe you want to create a tequila like The Rock. And, maybe you want to create a rap, #1 rap song and play it in the club while you sip on the tequila that you created. It doesn't matter. Let your imagination run wild when you pull out this piece of paper and start writing things. And what I would tell you again, it's a very challenging task, and I highly recommend everyone do it, because you are going to dig deep in figuring out what the heck it is you want. Do you want more tattoos? Do you want, what do you want to eat at 5-star restaurants? You want to sleep in 5-star hotels? What the do you want? And I've done this, guys, since 2014. I have here, it's laminated, all the things that I've written down, and to my surprise, I've accomplished most of these things. Look how raggedy this piece of paper is. 2014. A few things that I wrote down and I achieved were save $10,000 and be debt-free. I've destroyed that. I've obliterated that goal. I graduate with my bachelor's degree. I've done that. Start a business. I've done that. Buy a house. I've done that. And sometimes it takes longer to manifest these things. But that's okay. But they wouldn't have happened had I not set the intention first. And so where I'm going with this, guys, is the power of pen to paper is there's some sort of secret sorcery or secret magic to pen to paper. There's these psychological research that shows and evidence that shows that when you write it down, pen to paper, something happens. Something happens in the mind. Something happens that it's more likely to be accomplished. There's this statistic that 5 reasons to put pen to paper that research shows that those who write down their goals regularly are nearly twice as likely to accomplish these goals than those that don't. And I think that there's a certain level of accountability that when you put pen to paper, you are writing a note to yourself, a letter to yourself that I'm gonna do this. And you came up with this. Nobody else can come up with your goals for you. So you got to get clear on them, like yourself. Like you got to sit down in a quiet space, whatever you need to do, sip a cup of coffee, and get clear on what it is that you want, and put pen to paper on it. Pen to paper, write them down, and and have them hung up somewhere. I like to do this thing where I not only write them down, and then after I write them down, I like to type them up because I get the same benefits and my handwriting's crap. So I write it down first and then I type it out and I add little visuals next to everything just to give me that like visual. If it's my business that I need to take off, then I'm gonna put a picture of my business. If it's my YouTube channel that I'm trying to blow up, I'm gonna put the YouTube logo there. If it's a travel destination, I'm gonna put a picture of the travel destination. You guys can see here, I got all sorts of bucket list photos of places that I want to see, that I'm going to see. And so it's just a matter of time. Now, the reason why you want to write it out and type it up at whatever it is that works for you is the confidence of scratching it off. The confidence of checking that off. It does something. I can't explain it. There's probably a better research that can explain the psychology behind it than me, but there's something about crossing your goal off that creates this endorphins that go off in your mind, and you're gonna feel good about crossing off that goal. And when you feel good, you're gonna create more of those experiences. What I'm trying to get across to you is you need to get clear on what the heck it is that you want. And if you need to sit there with a piece of paper for 3 hours until you can figure out 100 things that you want, then that's what you need to do. But you need to get clear on what your goals are, and let there be no limits to, don't think about the how. The how is irrelevant. When the why is strong enough, the how is irrelevant. Write that one down. And so you've got to just no holds bar, no limitations, just go ham. Gone over crossing them off. Lastly, you want to hang them up everywhere. You want to have these things, laminated, put them on your shower, keep them in your wallet, keep them in your purse. Write down your goals, guys. The 4 most important words that you'll ever ask yourself are, what do I want? And get clear on it. And like I said, I'm still going through these processes. I'm still going through these motions because I haven't all the way figured it out yet. I don't think I ever will. I think even 60-year-old driven people, I think people like Tony Robbins are still asking themselves, like, what's next? What do I want next? So I don't think this goes anywhere, guys. I think that we're going to ask ourselves this for the rest of our lives. And as we check these goals off, we just need to create new ones. And that's just what life's all about. So if you've listened this far, I want to appreciate you guys and say thank you. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope I've inspired you to get clear on what the heck it is that you want. No one else is going to be able to come up with that for you. So you need to sit down and do that. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. Do it. Okay? Pen to paper, write it down, type it up if you want, add little visuals, right? We'll get into the visualization a little bit later in the next video, but if you've got some value, destroy that like button so it can help me grow this channel. Subscribe for all future videos. Check out my other ones as well. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Until the next video, peace out. Thank you guys for watching.